So you may have to invite Johnny.
Yeah, no worries. I will.
Okay.
All right. Well, here's the marvelous thing about Fireside is that I can edit out the opening when we start. And let's see here. I'm just going to go with my friend's painting in the back because Fireside still hasn't given me the ability to do the green screen. But yeah, it looks a little crooked, but this will work. We've had to use the phone tonight instead of the computer, but it looks all good. And I see Simon is up there. It looks like Johnny and Samantha are both in there. I have been able to play Simon's music. Let me get back to the beginning here on this track. And so we know that now works. And we should be able to do Samantha and Johnny's. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring back up the music. And look at that. We've got folks in the audience already. This is phenomenal. I want to let everybody know on stage here too. If there's anybody else you want to be up here, you can give them that invite that I gave you. And let us find the music bot. Invite the music bot to stage. Give us a couple of minutes or a minute or so or less of some music. All right, we're going to go in about 10 seconds. I'll do a countdown in my head because I've got the music playing. All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Revolution McInnes, and this is Talk with Revolution. And I am very excited, as I am on every evening, of course, but I'm very excited to have three musicians with us here this evening. And I'm going to tell a quick little story. My friend Indra Bartona introduced me to Sammie, and then we were able to find out about Johnny Invisible. And then we found out this really cool story about Simon Johns and Sammie and this collaboration and thing that is going on. So down below me, the way it is for me, but in the landscape form, you guys can see Simon Johns. And Simon Johns has been around music for a little while and has been with a couple of bands and has a new band. And a lot of you, I'm sure, have heard of the band Stereo Lab. I think he was associated with them for quite a while. So we're going to have fun things to talk about. And Simon, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, thank you very much for joining us, Sammie and Johnny. I think you guys have got a little bit under the weather, so I think you guys are going to stay off camera.
I can do video, but I think you have to. I don't know. I'm so ridiculous.
I just may need to invite you.
I was trying to do video actually. I was.
All right, Johnny.
Thinking,
you both should be invited.
I did it.
Hey.
Oh, awesome! Is there like a link or something? Because I did have my office set up, so I wouldn't have to hold my phone. But it's all good.
In terms of a link, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. No, you can't. You can only do it on your phone.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I didn't know.
Unless you have a new M1 Mac, and then like mine decided to give me problems playing the music tonight. But
it's all good.
But
all good. I'm here.
But we can.
No
we definitely can do it. So
no worries.
I would love to let Sammie tell us a little bit of the story of how her and Simon connected and what that looks like that is going to be about.
It makes me sound like such a devious person. Okay, so we were in Twitter Spaces, and Simon came into the space. And I did a double take because I immediately recognized him. Stereo Lab has been like just influential in my decision to pursue a career in electronica. And Even my decision to get into down tempo, and things of an almost experimental nature. So I recognized him, and I did a double take, and I was like, no, that can't be. And I sang a couple of songs that I knew I could sing well, and we added each other. And I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna shoot my shot. And I said, hey, listen, I'm gonna fangirl out for a minute and just admit that I kind of love you and adore you in every way imaginable. And would you consider please taking a call with me to discuss possibly remixing my band's first single? And he was like, yeah, sure, okay. And I was like, oh my God. So I did not expect you to say yes. And I when I talked to John immediately after that, I said, okay, Johnny, are you sitting down? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, we are going to talk to Simon Johns of Stereolab about remixing the track. And he said, shut the funk up. Like, just straight up. He did not believe me at all.
Shut the front door.
Shut the front door.
Simon, after you got off the initial shock of meeting Sammie,
Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
what was that? So you're in Twitter Spaces. You're you're out and about on Twitter. That is really cool.
Yes, perhaps to too much on social media. Too much on Instagram. So, but that's just the way that everyone lives nowadays. They live online. In fact, I think it's as Sam says, it's a nice story. And I think these days the relationships that you form on Twitter and in social media are just as kind of palpable and material as friendships in real life. So it's
Absolutely.
nice.
Absolutely.
It's been very nice.
I
now
agree.
we follow each other
100%.
around and find karaoke rooms and just act silly, and it's great.
Yeah, it's good. That was a wonderful kind of like discovery on. Obviously, everybody knew that these things existed, but I didn't know that karaoke Twitter Spaces existed, and it was a really nurturing and fun, kind of loving space, and it was nice to sort of play some very old songs of mine and some old folk tunes, and actually have a sort of interested and receptive audience rather than just sitting in my spare room playing to the cat. So everybody else in the house is kind of so sick of it that they don't want to be in the same room as me.
It is interesting, those karaoke spaces and such. I get into conversations because of the limitations of the speed of light. It's very difficult to collaborate online. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to stay in time with everybody and everything. So, and we're not going to be able to do anything about the speed of light. So I'm not exactly sure. There's got to be probably some way that it could be done maybe in the future, but I certainly don't know.
I don't know.
That
I'm
would
tenacious and ginger. If anyone's going to figure it out by pure accident, it's going to be me.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go.
fall
you get
into
working
the
on it. You
solution.
run down to Fermi Lab or CERN or something and start messing with the physics. Don't blow us up. Don't create a miniature black
what
hole.
Simon doesn't know is that when we did the call that night, I was texting John back and forth the entire time, like, "Oh my God, this is happening!"
Well,
I'm pretty sure she was having a heart attack at the time.
Oh no, I absolutely
right. Well,
Yeah.
listen, Sammie, with friends like Simon Johns and some of the friends I have in the entertainment industry, I do the same thing once in a while. Like I get in, somebody will fly me in for something. We're working on a project or something, and I'm like, okay, just dude. I know you're just a dude, but just I'm going to fanboy for 10 minutes, because I haven't seen you for a while. And then we're going to, jump into it. But I think that's the beautiful thing. I think you said it too, Simon, about the internet is, and I say this all of the time, if you let the funnels, if you let the algorithms take you to a good place, you can get there. If you want to have a conversation with the devil and the Grim Reaper, you can get there too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or, if you want to see me in a bikini, no, you can't get there, thankfully, because that picture doesn't exist. But if you do go on TikTok or Twitter, or I'm sorry, the one that it's easier on for some reason is YouTube stories. But if I'm scrolling and there's something about you on there and I linger, you're going to kind of keep continuing to come up. So I'm surprised how many people really don't realize that. But Twitter Spaces, especially, because you just get into the room with like-minded people, musicians and stuff, and you discover people that are similar. And I will say that I have some close friends on here that if we meet in real life, it's going to be like, well, are we going to be friends? Are we going to be lovers? Are we going to get married? Because that's how close you are, and I mean, it is kind of shocking. I want to ask Johnny Invisible, because I have been that name, man. Look, I've told you.
Your name.
Well, I know. Thank you. But I mean, I'm going to take that. I'm getting a guitar. I don't even know how to play. I'm going to get a guitar. I'm going to call myself Johnny
You're going to look cool AF while you're getting one, though.
Yeah. And I'm just going to throw that behind my back and just walk into the bar. Hi, I'm Johnny Invisible. I play the guitar. Can you buy me a beer? You know what I mean? Like it would be absolutely perfect.
There is no way Johnny would ever be that smooth.
Oh, well.
That's true.
No.
True story.
No.
True story.
Well, Johnny, 1-800.
I'm too honest.
1-800 smooth. I'll get you set up, I'll teach you what you need to know. Simon, you have a storied musical career, and it is something that is, extremely fascinating to me. And, you may have told this story a lot, but what, how did you get into music? Were you strumming the guitar at 3, or did you kind of backwards way you're into it in high school, or how'd that happen?
That's a ancient Chinese history. I mean, my friend Stuart, who was my best friend at school, bought a guitar. Well, he had his brother's guitar, and he would go on and on at length about how great it was and how great his brother was. And I just got so angry with him being really competitive with his guitar. I bought one just so I could compete.
Your entire career is based on spite.
Yes,
That's so British.
Exactly. I mean, it is. Yes, it is totally. I mean, I think most of my life is a reaction to being spiteful.
Oh my god!
And so I bought the. I've still got it somewhere. It's over there. A cheap guitar for £50, and which was kind of quite a lot of money when I was.
That would have been a lot. I mean, you're yeah, would have been a lot.
And, I had to pay the owner, the seller, like £10 a week or something, and I bought it, and then that was it. My so-called career took off. So I think I was about 13 or 14 at the time. And Stuart Pratt was his name. Is his name? Hopefully he's still with us. But Stuart Pratt.
That is such a painfully British name too.
Stuart Pratt. He was a bit of a Pratt.
I was about to say, where's Stuart now? He's like, I suck. Guitar.
He's still got his brother's guitar, and he's challenging people.
It was a Washburn.
He said, I will challenge the next big star. I did it once.
Right.
I will do it again.
Well, he found his niche in Latvian banjo trance, and
yes,
and that's applaudable.
He's a big name in Latvian banjo trance.
I mean, the biggest, honestly.
The only
banjo trance.
Yeah.
The only
Swamp House.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I'm just going to take a minute to say hi down there to Marciella, my great friend Indra, which I know you know, and Rodney, and Daryl is in there. Great to see you, Daryl. Daryl's over at Wisdom and on Twitter quite a bit. Nice guy. We did a little thing together.
It's the whole Wisdom family. I'm so happy they're here because I talk about Johnny on Wisdom all the time, and I'm pretty sure they were convinced that he didn't actually exist at all.
Well, he
was
invisible,
actually
but we
invisible.
have seen him.
Yeah,
we have seen him.
You
know what?
Only in legend.
We've been on here for 15 minutes, and of course, the primary thing we want to be doing is talking about music, and we've got some new tracks and stuff to play. So I would love, if I can make this magical thing work, is play this track, Simon. I heard when you sent this to me, like you had just finished this track. So this may be the first time that most of humanity hears this track. And do you want to give us a little backstory or the name or whatever? Or do you just want me to play it?
Yeah. No, totally. I think if it's the one
Orange Rice, yes.
Yeah. So it's a nice story. At the beginning of COVID, I'm making an album with my best friend from childhood. Not Stuart Pratt, but my friend Nathaniel.
Well, I mean, he's got a storied career in Latvian banjo trance. I'm sure he's difficult to even approach nowadays.
He's untouchable. So at the beginning of the pandemic, when everyone was locked in and we were all very bored and feeling very lonely, I thought I'd reach out to my bestie and say, do you want to make some music? We used to make music as kids. We were like 17, 18 years old. We were in bands together, and then our kind of paths diverged, and he went off and did art, and I went off and did music. And he's always made music, but we've made very different kinds of music. And so we hadn't made music since we were like 19, something like that, maybe even longer. And I just thought it'd be a wonderful way of passing the time, just to kind of get in touch with him and make some music. And so it's kind of mushroomed into this larger nameless project so we just write songs together, and we write songs about our childhood, and we write songs about our kind of current lives. It's just, we just throw these lyrics together, and we have very different attitudes towards the way that music's made. So, and in combination, it works quite well. And this is a song that he wrote. I wrote the music, he wrote the lyrics, and it's just about being kids and doing what kids do in boring commuter towns in southeast England.
Well, it is a beautiful track. Again, I guess, and unless you send it off to anybody more quickly than you send it off to me, I am, definitely one of the first people ever to hear it. And I certainly enjoyed it. And we are going to, oh yeah, you're quite welcome. We are going to make sure we mute up our microphones, and we want to, and then make sure you unmute them when the song is done. And I'm going to hit play, and hopefully this thing is going to work. And if you guys can hear it, just give me a little hand wave once it starts. And here we go.
That's that.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely gorgeous tune.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet of you to say. Thank you.
Dude, seriously, the world premiere. I could say it right here. And what's your bandmate's name? Do you guys have a band name, or are you guys just kind of studio gigging it?
No, we're just kind of arguing about band names. We have lots of great silly band names, but we don't have any serious band names. My partner is called Nathaniel Mellors. He's an artist. He's a mixed media artist, but and a musician. So yeah, Nathaniel Mellors.
Oh, that was fabulous. And I need to apologize down there to Marcella for mispronouncing your name. I got that there was not an I in there. And Sammie, you're muted, but hang on just one second. And I wanted to say, if anybody,
It's Marcella, actually.
Oh, Marcella. All right, Marcella. Yes. Okay, Marcella. And I did turn my video off. That was to take a dose of my medicine, so to speak. No, it is for pain, but it also is that groovy stuff. And we can do that here in Illinois. But wow, seriously, Johnny, Sammie, give us some reactions to that. I know you're on camera, Simon, but it is just so neat to be able to hear a song.
Holy moly, Johnny, he's collabing with us. That's a thing that's happening. That's a thing that's happening.
I mean, the whole thing is just wild, and honestly, what it comes down to it is that, you just do something, what you love, what drives you, your passion for the right reasons, and you just do it and you just keep to it, and wonderful things that will happen. And that doesn't mean, oh, you're going to meet Simon Johns or whatever, right? But it just, I mean, I'm just saying, just good things happen, healing happens, all of it, and that's really what it's about, and it's just been a healing journey for both myself and Samantha for sure, and maybe Simon too, I don't know, but.
Making music is just is my default setting. That's what I love to do.
Catharsis.
Yes.
That is beautiful. Right. That is beautiful, Johnny. I painted you wrong. I had just this gun-slinging guitarist, but you are deep too, my friend. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
I could already tell that, and I know I know because I know Sammie digs you, and shocker, he's collaborating with you too. So
Johnny's the best. He's very well versed in what I like to call Sammie wrangling, which is an art form unto and of itself.
Oh, Sammie wrangling. Yes, I think that is an export, I think.
Yeah,
sometimes it involves a hot poker and just I don't.
They're taking snowboarding out since what is his name? Sean, what is his name? Red hair guy. The other ginger there.
Yeah,
Sean
flying
White.
Tomato.
They're just getting rid of it, and now they're going to do Sammie wrangling.
Sammie wrangling. That's what I'm saying.
Tell me a little bit about what is the collaboration? I know this thing. I don't think is, I know you can't necessarily say all the stuff or whatever, but I mean, tell me a little bit about, from any of your perspective, what it's like to collaborate in general, and just what it is like to collaborate. And especially for the folks out there, like you guys are collaborating long distance, right? So you're sending stuff back and forth, and how does all that work?
Okay. And I've told people this. The night that Simon and I had our writing session is literally like one of the highlights of my career. Like, I got to write with my idol, and we have such a different creative process. And that was really fascinating too, and we came up with something that I'm really, really proud of. But then he said it was friggin' awesome. And I was like, oh my God, that is pretty gosh darn great.
It was my morning rather than the night, so it was the morning.
Yes, we didn't say good morning to you, by the way. Simon got up extremely early. He is, I don't ever say where anybody is. They can, obviously, they want to, but for now, he's at an undisclosed location somewhere in Europe. And no, actually, you have a daytime gig there too, right? In that part of the world where you're at. So feel free to mention that as well. I think that's really cool.
I am a journalist, and I write about, no tittering at the back, I write about lubes. Yes.
You can't expect me not to laugh.
I did warn you. Yes.
It's like you're dangling it right in front of me and saying,
well,
no.
Indeed.
Right. This is the time you bring that up?
Oh, I know, Johnny. It was going to be later. I know.
It's lubes and greases.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That's well, we are. Go ahead, Simon.
No, I was just saying it pays the rent. It's a job.
Hey, listen, exactly. You know what I mean? Whatever, whatever pays the bills and you can get away with it. We are definitely 100%, for that. I'm for conscious capitalism, and a lube journalist, that's a thing. So
it is.
Please stop saying it out loud.
Sammy, I don't understand what you find is funny about the word lubes.
Okay, just zip it, lock it, and put it in your pocket, sir.
It's funny actually. When I first got the job, of course I was kind of sniggering as much as you were. The word lube is sort of inherently funny word, like the word toilet, for example. That's another very funny word,
right?
For an English person, anyway. And I thought, don't laugh, don't crack any lube jokes. It's just they've heard them all. They don't want to know. It's like, yeah, haha, very funny, and it will stop me from getting the job. And then I found myself in a conference with the bar after the conference with a bunch of lube professionals.
It was a slippery situation, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was, and they'd had a few drinks, and I was kind of quite sober, and I thought now is another time not to crack the lube jokes. And they were just they busted out with every permutation of a lube joke you could possibly imagine, and they were hooting with laughter, and they'd all been in the business for like 30, 40 years. So, it never wears thin. The word lube has got
I'm being.
I need y'all to know I am legitimately having an existential moment right now, because never in my wildest dreams did I think I would in any way, shape, or form have a discussion with Simon Johns about lube journalism.
That's just the way.
Like at any point in my career,
Hey, that's his
that was like
profession.
never on the radar.
You just never know where life's going to take you, Sammie.
I guess not.
And now that's happened, and so we can add that to the list of.
We can add it to the list, and we can just slide right onto something.
And now here we are.
Nice. You see, you got it. You got one in there. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to use yours. Never going to wear thin on this guy. That was, hey, wow, that's pretty funny. A musician that I know that just literally, he's like, what are you guys talking about? No, just kidding. He just texted me though, but a good friend. That's fun that on music night. I want to play a track, and I'm going to, let's see, because this is now sitting. Wait a minute. Did I literally played that from the, okay. That's fine. I was a little confused because I didn't get to use my usual setup. So, Johnny, you sent me 2 tracks, and as I'm covering for myself, as I'm getting this thing loaded up and talking about it, as I pull open the email here, you sent me 2 tracks, and you sent them via email. So let me slide down here a little bit and find your name, and of course. It is not going to work that way. But Johnny, tell me a little bit. How did you? Where? What asylum? Oh, did I say that correct? Which hospital? No, I mean, how did you 2 meet?
This is the
Johnny
best story in the
world.
world.
Okay,
yeah. Tell us that story where I'm trying to cue up the music.
So we actually met on the place where all people collaborate, where this is where they meet. It's called a place called Tinder.
Yeah.
we met on Tinder.
Yes.
And I had a DJ producer on my bio, and she had singer songwriter, and so my plan up to this point, before finding Sammie, was that. I was just at some point I was just going to start going to karaoke bars and just trying to find somebody to sing, because I just built this vocal booth and I have a nice little.
To assure you, scream sanity. Like there's nothing creepy. About that.
I know it, but I just figure, maybe I'll find somebody with some passion that just wants to have some fun making some music. but we met over Tinder, and what you continue the story there, Sam.
Yeah, so we talked about house music for like 2 hours, and I was thrilled because I've been living in the Midwest, which for me was like a wasteland for years up to this point, with no one to talk to about music.
Still is, mainly.
Yeah, let's be honest, right? And
except Chicago.
And I said, look, I don't normally do this, but could we exchange numbers and talk on the phone? And he was like, hell yeah. So he sent me his number, and it was a 512 number, and I was like, oh, that's Austin. That's where I'm from.
Are you in the house?
So I called him and I said, hey, I'm from Austin too. And it turns out we ran in all the same circles like 20 years ago. He basically lived with my old roommate that I had a band with back in Austin. And we were just naming.
We just never met back in that day. I don't know how.
We may have, in just not.
We may have. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago, and some very.
I mean, in drugs. Oh, I mean, never mind. Music. All those things.
Oh, I would never, sir.
I am a lady.
No. Yes, I know. This is a choral group. A Reverend Revolution here. Technically, I am ordained, but it's online. But I have performed one wedding ceremony, and they're still married. So, anybody wants to send me $500 and perform a wedding? Look, I got these people been together for 11 years. So, I'll do it right on that, actually. All right, listen, this is what we're going to try to do. I'm going to click on this, and hopefully it won't play immediately, but if it does, then we're cooking with gas. Nope, it's going to... And there it did. So I will back it up, and I'm going to play this track. The first track here is Onwards. Do either of you want to set this up at all?
Yeah, this is about moving upwards and onwards. And this is actually the song that Simon will be remixing. I promised him I would say that.
So our friend... Or Ty did the guitar, and actually, the story behind this song too is actually pretty cool. We, Sammie and I had been talking for a few hours about some pretty deep stuff and whatever. And this guy we just met because we played a festival kind of the weekend before or something. He came over, and we barely knew him. And he sat down with us with guitar, and he sung this song that literally just summed up like hours of myself and Sammie's conversation.
So succinctly.
And we looked at each other and just was like, what the, And so they started kind of just riffing. I'm like, okay, let's start recording this, So literally put this together in an evening. And it just, I don't know, it just came out so beautifully.
And
it just worked so well.
We have re-recorded these vocals. Like, this is not the final mix, but we're both.
This is not all the final product.
Work in progress. No, that's good. Yes. We had a premiere from Simon and a work in progress from me, which I think is really neat. Showing folks how the sausage is made, and clearly, Sammie, as it relates to all this stuff, you're just really slick. I don't think people. I did it again. All right, let's listen.
I'm not, though. I'm actually a bumbling ginger pile of awkwardness, and I don't know how I keep fumbling into like good situations, but like I'm just receiving it and being open to it and going with the flow of the universe instead of fighting against it. And I think that's kind of been the trick all along.
Well, we will call you Sammie. We will call you Sammie Clouseau, if anybody's old enough to get that joke. And
I'm kind of cool with just Sammie.
Okay. All right. Here we go. We're gonna play this. We're gonna play this little tune out. Remember to mute your microphones and unmute them when you come back. And this is Cadence and the Coda. Right? Am I right? Right. Here we go.
Pushing
altitude. Oh, and longing won't replace that aching or the emptiness. Oh, we're too familiar, darkness. I must confess, I could have loved you, loved you, yeah.
My goodness, I have to say that we have a long time amazing musician on here, Simon Johns, who delivered us an amazing song, and the world does not yet know Sammie, but they will. With that voice, I know. I see Simon shaking his head, agreeing with me.
Oh,
I
that
see
was such
Johnny.
a horrible take, though.
Oh my God! If that's a horrible take, young woman, you are going to own it. This
Thank you.
planet is going to be renamed the Sammie Planet.
That's
all
so
of history.
unfortunate for the planet.
No, we already knew you had a beautiful voice, but my goodness,
Thank you.
That's lovely.
Wow.
Very lovely.
it
It felt
is.
very
you.
comfortable and very, very natural.
Oh my
and
gosh.
sort of relaxed. It was nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, she has so
much.
many notes of different artists that just kind of you just feel them in her voice. You know what I mean? Like it's such a beautiful tone and range. To have three just musicians of this caliber on here, and I've had some great musicians on here, and we will continue to do so, especially when I can put music like this out there and people can be like, oh, wow, I need to come there and listen. And I do want to say to all of you too, I am happy to, help people do a show on here or something. I'm always happy to produce a couple or whatever. If, you all decide that you want to bring different friends or do different things and even do shows on here occasionally, I'll put in the good word with the folks at Fireside, but I would think they would see all of the great talent that is here tonight. Did I hear you say, Sammie, that Mr. Johns there was going to help remix that song as well as the song you're collaborating on?
Well, Ricketts, but yes, remix it.
Oh, Ricketts, yes.
Yeah,
right.
Ricketts.
Remix. Sorry.
Rickett remix, yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of inside jokes here, So
More than you could possibly imagine.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, he offered me
No, I
$1 million
know.
to not say that. And I was like, I mean, you cannot do that. Like,
not with
like that's
Sammie.
like putting a button in front of me and saying not to push it. Like, not only am I going to push it, I'm going to do it five or six times in a row.
He knows how to grease the wheel. Okay, Sammie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it is the way that it is. Did anybody get that joke but me? All right.
I just got it.
I love it.
Oh my God.
Simon.
Breathe, Sammie. Breathe.
Yes, right. In and out. There we go. Simon's even demonstrating it for you. In and out. Simon, your long career in music, starting from a challenge to play the guitar and to shut your friend down. I love that story. What are dude, Stereo Lab's a big freaking deal.
Yeah.
And
It's a
so
huge deal.
I know it is. It's massive, right? I'm trying not to fanboy here too much. But I mean, what is it like to perform, at that level? I mean, it must have just been like really cool.
Well, I mean, yes. I don't know how. I can't compare it to anybody else's experience. But I mean, I think actually it was kind of it felt quite normal,
Yeah.
We're not very. I mean, I would say Stereolab isn't a particularly what one would describe as a very rock and roll band.
Right.
So
right.
we
You're
didn't
not
really
doing
do-
like
No.
a Kiss concert.
But
No.
your sound design, it was revolutionary. You
Yeah,
know?
I think we used all of our tokens on the music rather than on the sort of the sex and drugs bit. We did just rock and roll, and we didn't even do rock and roll. We sort of arch pop. So
Right,
it was all
right.
right. It was yeah. We carried our own gear in and out of the venue. We managed things very kind of normally. We were quite sort of regular people, and so yeah, it was. It felt like It didn't feel like a job, but it didn't feel like crazy.
It just felt like you were
quite
gigging,
tiring.
whether you were Stereo Lab or just Johnny Invisible and the monsters down the street. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like you guys were just living your life and really enjoying it. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Quite boring people. I mean,
Did you just say it was boring?
I don't know. I've talked to
I
you a
said
little
we're
bit.
quite
You're
boring.
actually not boring, but I feel you.
That's very sweet.
Yeah, you're like the least boring guy on the planet.
Well, I mean, that's a challenge. So,
You make him throw it
always
down
asleep.
again. This will be Simon John's the next.
You know, I'm like with challenges.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh my gosh.
He was fixing his bike earlier, and he was sending me photos of his angry British face, fixing his bike.
Yeah, I was fixing that. Yes, to get here, I had to cycle from my home to my office. Which I'm in my. This is my office. This is where the lube stories get rimmed.
Dang it.
Rimmed. Yes.
Jesus.
Do not turn a
I am
black light on in
trying
there.
so
Do not
hard
turn
to
it-
not drop
Johnny
F-bombs,
Invisible
and
right
y'all are talking about lube jokes. Like, that's so
Yes.
completely not
Yes.
fair.
Well, the good news
That's where
is
the magic happens.
it's Talk with Revolution after midnight somewhere. Not here, but somewhere. It is. I think it is. You said, Sammie, that that doing stuff with Simon was such a big deal. But I have, and that's huge. And I have to say that when you meet folks of all, the caliber that all of you are, it is such a pleasure to just sit here and have fun. You know what I mean? And enjoy ourselves, not be like, well, no, so Simon, tell me exactly.
And if I may rewind it back a little bit, because I keep, like focusing on meeting Simon, but I want to express to people just how amazing it was to lock eyes with Johnny that first time and realize that I'd found my brother that I'd been searching for forever. Like, there was never any kind of
It's a good thing you
romantic
two didn't hook up.
inclination
Oh, no.
between the two of us. There was never that deal, though.
Yeah.
No, I
Never,
was
ever.
kidding. The brother
It's-
thing.
it's
I was just
Bigger and deeper than
Yeah,
than
it's
that.
better than that,
It's
honestly.
like,
You know what?
Like,
I'm going to touch on that real
because-
quick. I'm going to touch on that real quick because I'm going to agree 100% with you. I don't know if people have ever been able to experience having, and honestly, especially if the two people are of opposite genders and they're generally attracted to, that same gender. I have a couple of friends that we have such a deeper relationship because we don't have any reason to ever white lie, right? We all white lie
None.
about something. But when you have that close of a bond with people like that, yeah, there's literally no reason to white lie. So it's really hard. I mean, I'm telling you, a spouse cannot be as close as that kind of relationship that two of you have. And that's beautiful that you're
I would
making music
agree.
together.
Yeah,
I would
honestly.
agree.
I mean, when I say that I'd found my brother, like, I'm not lying about that. He's my family. He's my, I want to say touchstone, someone who keeps me tethered and grounded
Yeah,
And
she's the one that gets me to believe in the world again. It's
Wow.
just
That's
he
I
beautiful.
mean,
laughs me back
really,
to
on
earth.
some level, because really, we were both in this place of like, what the hell? Where am I? What is going on? Just you go through life and whatever, all the follies and pitfalls and whatever, right? And at some points you're kind of broken,
Mhm.
right? But then you find somebody, especially you can make music with, and just kind of pour your soul into it, and the healing through that is incredible.
Yeah.
That is,
Truly.
yeah.
So, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but meeting Simon was icing on the cake because it
Sure,
really was, because
sure,
meeting
yeah. It's
Johnny
just
was finding my partner in crime and my brother, and the musical partner that like had just always been a little bit out of reach, unbeknownst to me.
until the
And
right time. Until the
yeah,
right time.
definitely. And I'm so proud of what we've been able to create um, up until this point. And I don't want to detract from that at all, because Johnny is an amazing musician
He
and
is.
so humble and so incredible, and such a great person, a genuinely decent guy.
Well,
And I
if there,
just want to take time to recognize that.
no, I'm glad you did. And if there
Thank
is,
you,
if,
Sammy.
I love
oh,
you.
that's beautiful. If Mr. Johns, myself, and the two of you have anything to do with it, you two are going to be very well known. That, again, what a great track. And to be able, the first track that we heard, I mean, it just blows me away that I'm one of the first people to hear it. And then we were able to premiere it here. And I feel exactly the spirit that you were talking about. It is such an amazing tune. I've had two of
Thank
them.
you.
And, that fact that you're all working together, it's just
Yes.
it's incredibly cool. It is it's not something that we hear every day when we hear about the record industry and the music business and all of this stuff.
But you know
So
what? Most of this stuff
oh,
has
you're
come
muted,
together
Simon.
so
Oh, you're not?
Organically.
organically
Okay. Oh, go ahead,
Yeah.
Johnny.
that it's just been. It's like it's just meant to happen or something,
Yeah.
without even putting any effort. Because it's like to be honest, just working on this album and getting to where we're at within ourselves is worth more than anything, any kind of. I mean, no one else could hear any of these songs ever,
And we would
and
be fine with it.
we would be
100%
fine with
okay.
it. I
Like, we
mean,
don't give a
of course
damn.
we want people to hear things, of course, right?
Well, it's
But
our
I'm just
gift to them.
saying,
But if it's not
it,
received, that's okay, because I
yeah,
love it. I love what we've accomplished
Hmm.
together. You know,
seriously,
Yes.
it's just
honestly.
been,
Yes.
a beautiful, like, finally type of journey,
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
exactly. When
Sammy,
I first met Johnny, he challenged me to write above and beyond what I thought I was even capable of doing. And it wasn't in a like tremendous, I know you can do better than that kind of way. Like, it was a gentle but firm kind of push. And he, ever since that first day, has been helping me be aware of just how capable I am. And that is friggin' unreal. That is so awesome.
oh, that definitely it is just nice to be able to share these experiences. Simon, I can't remember if you did send me a second track to play, or would
I
you
did.
like to play something on the guitar? You tell
Oh
me.
no. I think
No?
I did send
Okay.
you a second track. So
I th-
I sent it to the no, Facebook. I mean,
did you
Twitter
send it to the
space.
Twitter? You know what?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
let me double check and see. It might have come in.
Did you use the dreaded Dropbox?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It might have come in on
Dun, dun,
your and
dun.
Dun, dun,
mine
dun.
as opposed to um
Well, I can talk about the song in the meantime if you want to.
Les, please do talk about it. And I may have you, I'm sure that you're capable of talking about it a little bit and maybe just send it to me
Yes.
again.
Okay, let's
Just
do
to,
that then.
yeah,
I'll
let's
do
do that.
I can talk about my music infinitely.
See, I could never do that. Two things at once. So see, I'm right there. I'm already one upped.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I thought I did send it to you. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
thought you did too, but
yeah, because you sent me a fire react emoji. There it is. It's not in the group chat. It's in our.
It's our individual one, isn't it? Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's so. What I thought too.
Yeah. What about the song? I've become in my dotage somewhat preoccupied by folk music of all stripes. Having been a sort of bit of a sort of rock and roll snob, and thinking it was kind of, mugs of foaming ale and Morris dancing and a bit sort of weird and tedious. And actually, it's very interesting, and British folk music is a very long and rich tradition of storytelling, and it's kind of music for regular people. So I kind of responded to it on a cultural level, being a regular person, and it's just they're just really fascinating stories, and I like the way that they kind of grow organically over the centuries, over the decades, and you can really change them around and kind of make them your own. And in fact, I just working on a song with my very, very dear friend Zara, who's in the chat, and we're working on a song called Reynardine, which is a really old 200-year-old song about a werefox who lures unsuspecting women to his castle to have his wicked way. And what we did together, we wrote some extra lyrics at the end, and so we kind of reversed the story. So the kidnapped women actually are sort of.
Would you like me to hop down so you can bring her up?
I was
y'all could talk about it.
Well, she can come up and just talk on audio, and then I could pull myself down if she wanted to come up on video too. That's fine. Why don't we do the track, and then we will see if Zara. I know Marcella sent you a message, Sammie, that said you guys need to sing together again. If you haven't been able to see the chat in there, if you haven't found it. And,
no.
But yes, if Zara would like to come up, I'm going to give her an invite, and let's see.
Just to kind of round off the anecdote whilst you're doing that. So there's a style of folk song called the token ballad, whereby a couple are kind of separated, and before they're separated, they give each other a token, and then the token is reunited, and that's kind of the format of the story. And so I reimagine what a modern token ballad would be. So the male goes off to sea, and they always go off for sea for 7 years and come back again. And in the meantime, the girl or the woman is supposed to be kind of chaste and pure and loyal and waiting for him to come back. And she's been in limbo. But in my retelling of the story, she basically sort of says, look, screw you, man. You left me for 7 years on my own as a single woman, working and scrubbing floors and having a really miserable time, whilst you were just kind of at sea drinking rum and laying with native islanders. So
yes, I was like canoodling around with
yes. So she basically attempts him to sling a soap. I think Zara's she's got a bit of a cold, so she
and you know what, and and the anytime like I said, you folks want to come back and talk about a song or something you're releasing to, we will definitely want to do that, because that anything we can do. My big priority in all of this is to meet people that I think are interesting, or people that I already know, and hopefully the rest of the world will as well, and promote everything that they do. We happen to be fortunate tonight that that the world is soon going to know how interesting a couple of you are, and already knows. So it wasn't very hard for me to decide to have you on here. I'm going to click on the Dropbox. We will let this open up. It may again play quickly, but I will let that roll. If not, I'll hit the play button.
See.
No, we're good. Go. Did anybody else want to say? Did you want to say something else, Simon, before I hit play?
Just want to say that Zara is also an amazing ukulele player, so I had to get that in there.
Oh, neat. Oh, very, very, very cool.
So when she's feeling better, maybe we can come back and we can play some ukulele.
Oh, that would be Look, you got my Calendly link. You know what I mean? Surprise me with a date. That would be great. Fantastic. All right, and the name of this, sir?
It's called A Tokenist Ballad.
Awesome. I love, just before we play this, I love the idea of the folk song and how you have changed it, because, folk songs especially your part of the world, I mean, dude, they have been around for a long, long time. You are really working with an old form, and that's really cool. And here we go.
It's wonderful. Great, thank you.
Yeah. Yo, you're quite welcome, sir. All right, here we go.
You went off to sail the world and leave your mess behind. Before you showed your tail to me, you turned to me and said, I'm giving you this keepsake to remind you of your love. You opened up your hands to show a thing of little worth. Through stinging tears you took from me a promise given blind. Be true until I'm home to you, and I may be in kind. A boy you were, and a girl I was. The southern seas have softened your hands while a life of work has hardened mine. Seven lonely years went by. Now you've stepped onto shore and climbed up to my house again and knocked upon my door. I've been gone these years, my dear. Do you remember me? I show my afterthing to you. Now won't you show me yours? Of course I recognize you, lad. You've barely aged a day. I've toiled and strived so hard since then. My hair's begun to grey. A boy you were, and a woman I am. The money and rum have kept you well, while a life of work has taken its toll. I remember what you tricked from me as lads knocked at my door. They brought me things the likes of yours. I shooed them all away. Time went by, no letters came, but bills for me arrived. I sold my half the thing you gave for means to get me by. The sun does not revolve round you, nor shine from your behind. I found another lass to squeeze. She put you from my mind. A boy you are, and a woman I am. You expect to be held like a baby in arms, but I'll carry on like you've never returned. you go. That's another world premiere, by the way. That's
wow.
You know what it reminds me of,
world
Simon?
premieres. 3, actually.
Kings of Convenience, like the
Right.
Fortet remixes.
oh, okay.
It has that soft, like, but dramatic, harmonies and the lulls and the valleys, and it's just sweeping and moving. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you for saying that.
Of course.
Excuse me.
Johnny, go ahead if you want to say something there.
Sammie
Johnny
just
on the spot.
She stole all my thunder.
Yeah, well, that's
No,
what I
that
do.
really, it's like when you listen to the song before, then this one, both of those, you can feel a lot of emotion and just and that's sometimes that's hard to find in music. Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't
Authenticity,
think there's any auto tuning in
Yeah.
this.
That auto tune, I swear, it makes my eyes twitch. I'm just like,
It really
"Ugh, I
that
can't.
and a metronome.
It does sound good in some tracks out there, I
Oh
guess.
no!
But
If it's used as an instrument or whatever, it can sound quite well.
yeah,
But if it's literally trying to save somebody's inability to sing, that is a bit of a problem. But I want to say too, Simon, again, thank you for letting me play those 2 tunes, and of
That's my
course
pleasure.
you Cadence and Coda as well. You have I'm listening to the lyrics and I'm digging it. I love it. I like this folk thing. And what is 2 things that are really cool here, because I realize I should let guests know when their songs are on. If they want to turn off their camera, they can. And 2, because I can always invite them back. But 2, I've seen you groove to your own song. That's the shit right there, man. When, you know what I mean? When somebody's grooving to their own song, that is so freaking cool. That was so nice to experience that with you. And I get, your humor is in there too. Like, it's there, dude. I was, you know what I mean? Like your full package that we've already got tonight, is in that music, and it is really neat. It is really neat.
Well, there's a very sort of oblique reference to. I'm going to say a bit of a
Go ahead.
word. Well, it's an oblique reference to his penis. I mean, that's just.
You're
there's no
so
way.
painfully British, my
I
friend.
know, I can't, there's no way I could have said it without.
No, right.
For the
I mean,
medical.
You've been joking about being a lube journalist all day. and God.
Sam,
I'm about to say you've been a lube journalist for far too long.
I have.
Yeah, right.
I think 10 minutes is far too long.
I have tried
yes,
so
that-
hard
that-
to think of another word besides like slick, slippery,
Yeah.
So, but as a
Smooth.
lube journalist,
It's a good one. So that's the token in the song, and it's not. I'm not proud of it, but it makes me laugh.
Well,
oh my goodness, no! To be able to have the behind the scenes, the stories from folks that are writing their songs. I mean, it is really neat. I used to do fetch, tote, and carry for my friend's band for years. And then I did work for a big sound reinforcement company. I was the operations manager. And for example, our entire front of house system for a good sized venue in Chicago at one of the massive outdoor venues was drum fill for U2 once. Literally.
Wow.
It was the dudes, half of our rack was drum fill for them. You know what I mean? So, and I was within 18 feet of them, which was neat because I was, I had the backstage pass that said, do not go closer than 18 feet. You know what I mean? And I could do that. But in that whole experience, I met so many
that
amazing.
Bono.
Yeah. It was funny. I'm not kidding. Every band member, well, Bono and Edge at least came in on individual helicopters as they came, because I was there all day because we were there setting up. So they came in on individual helicopters. They had helicopters that were not a band member, like for security. Like, oh no, we're going to land one that doesn't even have anybody in the band in it, I think. Like it was like, they were huge. They're massive. But I mean, but then, just for security reasons, there were like multiple choppers bringing the bands in, in different things. So
Did they play Ride of the Valkyries as they kind of appeared over
Yeah,
fields?
yeah, exactly.
The Witch Mountain tune, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sort of surfboards on the side and then
Oh my God.
flares.
But I have,
I think we're gonna go with the zip line more of an approach, really.
yeah, I think you guys don't have to.
Is that what we decided on? Because I don't know, sir. Like,
Yeah.
We still have to talk about it.
No, I mean, look, you just whatever you look.
Bicycles.
You've got your guy at your label. Just let him decide.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Since you brought that up, I want to take a minute to shout out Jamal as well.
Which is
And
why I
that's
brought it up.
another. He's our label boss. And that's another piece of synchronicity that can't be left unsaid.
Ignored.
He's from Austin as well, and our label is called Speakeasy Solace Records. I literally have the word solace tattooed on my foot because it's one of the words that keeps me grounded. And he's, compared to us, he's a kid, right? He's 28 years old. But he has worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make sure that we're okay, that we're taken care of, that he's well informed, that he's up to date, just constantly checking on us, seeing if we need anything, just genuinely wanting us to be the best version of ourselves we can be, And when I
Very
approached
supportive.
Johnny about it, I was like, listen, I really think that we should take him up on his offer. And it took him a little bit of convincing. Actually, I think I just kind of agreed to it and told him later, like, hey, we're doing this. And
Yeah, pretty
By
much.
the way,
I was like,
I
whoa,
signed your
hey.
I signed your name to a contract. You know what, Sammy? I have a friend that we have that kind of agreement. If you are somehow stumble into the Netflix head offices and one of our ideas is going, just sign my name. I'm right there.
Well, it just felt so right. And
Yeah.
so far my intuition has not led me wrong.
It
It really hasn't.
So far, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
It really hasn't.
And I just knew it was the right call. And it truly has been, in an industry that's so full of sharks and people that will use every ounce of your spirit and soul to gain traction and clout for their own benefit.
Yes,
He
that's
genuinely
true.
just wants to put out good music from good people and just rejoice in that joy and that space of creating brilliant music. And we love him for that. And he has what I like to call exasperated Sammie face, like the, oh, God damn it,
Why did I do this? What was I thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
What was I thinking? Really? Okay. What can I say? But I like that too. I love all we've just had a lot of fun, and I'm just thinking, this is W Soul Sucking Radio. We've sucked the life out of every musician, and we're going to play the hits.
Pretty much, yeah.
I want to say a quick hello to Indra Bartona, because she is my partner in crime, blue collar. We don't do anything violent. No, my partner in so many ventures. She allows me to be on her beautiful programs, and we do a lot together. And you guys are all going to appear with Indra at some point. Indra, I'm going to give you the if I don't shut the show down, because I'm doing this on the video, I'm going to drop down from video. If you want to come up, feel free. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
You want to just take me off and drop me down or something?
No. You
Be on
guys
there?
are the stars.
No,
I'm
it's
just the
okay. I'm
host.
just going to jump in on
Go
voice.
ahead.
Because I have just been really chilling and enjoying the show, everyone. So thank you so much. It's wonderful to see Sammie in the flesh like that. I knew you'd be just so gorgeous.
Oh my God. No. Thank you.
You sound like an angel, and you just you look like an angel too, with that beautiful hair. Wow. And John and Simon, sorry if I don't go on about your hair.
There's not really enough to go on about. So
Didn't I just serenade you with Baby Shark the other day? I mean, come on.
Yes,
right.
you did. It was wonderful, and looking forward to having you guys on the Positivity Vibe Tribe, on the Music Vibes. And then I also run a Positivity Vibe Tribe over here. So we'll circle back and get you live as well over here.
Awesome. I think that would
Yeah.
be so much fun. And being on her space was so refreshing because it really was such a chilled atmosphere. And I was very nervous because I was just singing the songs a cappella, which again was the right move,
It
honestly.
was.
You know, and I'd done a sound check with my friend Steven, and you just couldn't hear my vocals over the tracks themselves. And I said, screw it. I know I can knock this out of the park just singing it, you know? And that's what I did. And that's how I ended up meeting Rev, you know? And we've had some phenomenal conversations since then. And Darius as well. Darius has become I would consider him a friend at this point, and just a really, really great dude. And it just feels like because we're open to receiving the gifts, the universe. Rodney will remember this because I said this on Wisdom. I wake up every morning and I say the same thing. I am ready, I am able, and I am willing to accept the gifts the universe is ready to give me.
Love that so
Thank
much,
you.
Sammie.
Thank you. And special thanks to Marcella, for helping guide me to that point. I mean, my whole Wisdom family's down there. Daryl deserves a shout out because this man literally took a sledgehammer to my writer's block one night. And it was such a wonderful conversation. And Rodney, my fancy man of poetry, is down there. Is such an incredible, amazing, and gifted writer. And my squirrel brother, we share that squirrel energy.
I am just going to let everybody know that I have unmuted the sound effects. I had muted them for when the music was playing, so we didn't get.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I forgot about
you
that. I
didn't do
was
anything.
joking
No,
with
it was totally- it was
Marcella
totally-
about Weird Al.
Oh yeah, no, it was totally muted. No. When the music plays, I just forgot to unmute it because I saw somebody clapping down there. So if anybody wants to clap, please feel free at whatever point here while we're doing this. And Indra, thank you, so much. Without you and introducing me to Sammie and having Sammie do that, a cappella night, which was just so wonderful, we would not have been able to put this show together. So that's what I love about the teamwork and everything, that we do. And I just so appreciate your support all along, and having you here, as well this evening is fantastic.
Well, Indra and I actually met on Wisdom ourselves.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we totally did. And the last time we spoke, her and Kimberly were doing a chat, and they were asking about authenticity in your artistry. And I said something, I can't remember exactly what I said, but of course there was a cuss word involved. And afterwards, Andrew was like, I really want you to be on the show. And I was like, oh my God, yes, of course. That's amazing.
Well,
That's
it is.
right. We did meet over on Wisdom, and it was the very first time it was your open mic. That was fun.
Yeah, I like to hold space for other artists to have a stage and a platform where they have a captivated audience and the ability to go out there and perform their best for people that genuinely just want them to be in that space and experience that courage and vulnerability and love and graciousness that comes along with putting yourself out there. And it's a delight to watch people revel in that space,
It is, all of this, is an absolute delight. And I want to also say that if the possibility, and it is, I'm saying that because I know it is possible, for everybody to get together, it would be fun to do some kind of live remote or something. I'm curious, Simon and Sammie and Johnny, with this collaboration, when this thing blows up, like it would just be, it's going to be like an amazing story. But I'm curious, Simon, in your case, especially because you're doing all this writing and all these different things, do you have a band in, that's, your friend that you're fighting over the band name, are you thinking? Do you gig out much? Do you get a chance
No.
to play in public?
No. No, we're like we're too old and we're too bechildrened for that kind of stuff.
You know what this amazing man is doing, though? He's taking some of my back catalog pieces and turning them into acoustic versions so that I can re-record them and re-release them.
Well, then,
which is like just a genuinely nice thing to do. Thank you for that.
Well, too old and two children, there is working out then, that way.
No, I'm a my road days are behind me. Yeah, it's too.
I feel you. I feel you.
My liver doesn't miss the road.
It's funny.
I would think the National Institutes of Health over there for all Britons would have extra livers on hand.
Well, you'd have thought so, but most English livers are quite damaged, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
Yes.
Oh yes,
God.
we'll have to find the teetotaling livers.
Yes, there aren't any.
Yeah,
Aren't any?
not in the whole empire.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Yeah,
Certainly not.
Johnny and I are the oldest people on our label by like a decade and a half. We're like the old curmudgeons, like get off my lawn. I think that's great.
That is absolutely
Isn't that hilarious?
Fantastic. Give us a little bit of a time frame when we think we might be able, I'm not going to hold you guys to anything, but when we might be able to
thank God,
hear
because
this,
I always say
hear this-
something and then it doesn't happen.
Hear this. No. But I mean, are we talking like, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, kind of, when do we think this will be done?
The goal is to have Onwards and the slew of remixes done by like either mid-December or the end of December, and then release the full album around springtime.
Excellent. I'm going to say now, what you guys haven't named the track that you're collaborating on specifically, right? This is still a work in progress.
Not yet, and I'm not even entirely sure. I'm done editing the lyrics yet because I want them to flow a little bit nicer, honestly. But I do have an arrangement in mind how I want it to sound, and I think it's going to sound really, really pretty and delicate and fluid. And
Yes.
I'm you don't even know. I get to sing with my icon on a track. Like it's amazing.
Go ahead, Sammie.
Johnny's music is already kind of quite sort of vivid and interesting, so it's going to be quite interesting. And I think it's going to be a great track.
That is phenomenal. I want to invite all of you, as I said before, if you've got anything you want to promote, any friends you want to bring, you're all always welcome. Even if the show stunk, and it didn't, it was great. You're all always welcome to come on and give me a heads up and do something. I am just so absolutely behappied that I have been able to have such a salubrious conversation with all of you here.
Yeah.
Well done.
nice.
Well
Thank
done.
you. I know. It took me a while.
That's good. That was quality.
Yeah, and I just kind of want to let you guys, kind of take us out. But before we do that, we have one last song, right, for you two, and then we'll just kind of take it out because I think that we're going to keep this audience hungry for more of this music from all of you, and so I certainly expect to have you all back, as I said again, and we are going to go with this next tune after we come back. Sammie and Johnny, you can give us a little backstory on the tune as I hit play. I think it would probably start right away. So this is, give me the name. Go ahead, Sammie.
Broken Little Things.
Okay. And is that the one we have, Johnny? Because I'm seeing a different label on there.
Yeah, we can't name it that because of
Tiny
copyright.
Broken Thing. No,
Tiny Broken
I thought we
Things.
put Tiny Broken Things.
I'm actually seeing CNC.
Oh,
That's Cadence and
yeah.
Dakota.
Got it.
Yeah.
DNB. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
just want
stands
to
for
make sure
drum
I was
and
playing the
bass.
right track. You know,
That's our terrible filing system.
no worries. I just want to make sure like "Bad Out of Hell" didn't come on. 'cause
It's
it
a little
just
bit
came
better
out
at
good
least
stuff,
than my
you know.
stars and checks on the vinyl that I used to write. The
Right.
whole
Oh gosh, yeah,
star
I
rating
know.
systems,
That,
you know.
Yeah, I ruined a lot. My dad would have been a millionaire had I not scribbled on some of his albums. All right, here we go.
You're just a simple copy of a woman I once knew, who could make me cry from sheer delight, who knew me once through and through. That's how relationships end, though. Fire and blood and Xerox machines, memories fade, and all we have left are tiny, tender, broken things. I miss the you I fell in love with, for everything that it's worth. Even though we still both habitate, I can't imagine how this could get any worse. That's how relationships end, though. Fire and blood and Xerox machines, memories fade, and all we have left are tiny, tender, broken things. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's how relationships end, though. Fire and blood and Xerox machines, memories fade, and all we have left are tiny, tender, broken things. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Have got to say that I see as a as foretold as a prognosticator of the future. I think that's not the right word, but the I just see great things coming from the three of you if you just keep hanging out and doing stuff. My gosh.
Well, I don't plan on stopping.
I don't even know who the heck I would be if I stopped.
Yeah, right.
Be lost. Like, what? No.
No.
I love that. I think
So real quick with that track too, my daughter, she's 9. She
I have a
actually
9-year-old.
super excited, and she made this little like a Gotcha Life or something, little mini movie video to kind of go along with that song. So she's super excited about it.
Oh, that's
She's
phenomenal.
thrilled, and she is such a delight. When we first started making music, we had thought about opening up the album with her saying "Gold Records."
Go Records.
Go Records.
Well, I hope there are certainly lots of gold and platinum, whether they are records or experiences. I think maybe both. The potential is there, and it has just been an absolute delight, to have all of you on there. And I really think that the music was fantastic. And I also want to shout out, and I will let them know, I want to shout out to Fireside. These are decent cans. These are not the most expensive cans in the world. These are from Rode, but I've been trying them out. I like them. I've got other cans, but I'm using their Rodecaster Pro 2. So this has been kind of cool. But I mean, my God, I can hear it coming back. I can hear it from the other direction from the phone. It's sounding pretty good. I bet it's sounding really good on your end over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well,
really
Yeah.
is like
Very
it
clean.
doesn't feel compressed or anything. I mean, it's just really hitting nicely. So that's absolutely fantastic. Simon Johns, sir, for a regular guy, you've got one hell of an ability, and it has just been so really an honor and a pleasure. I hope that you
Pleasure's all mine.
oh, well, thank you, sir. And I'm going to go right back at you. And knowing the baseball team that you're a fanboy of, I hope we get the opportunity to hang out sometime. That would be an absolute joy.
It will be.
Yeah, and I really feel like it is just so nice. I just want to say to everybody that, if you want to do something like this, if you're out there, there are places like Wisdom, there are places like Twitter Spaces, hopefully continuing. There are places just like this that you can just do what you want. Just do it. And if people like it, they will come, and just stick to it, because, 24 months ago, I was nobody, and I like to say I'm slightly less than nobody. I'm not moving my fingers apart, folks. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I've been able to bump up a notch in the world and who I meet. And why it's so important for who I meet is because I want to tell the stories that people haven't heard. So when we have people, that can draw people in, it is amazing. But when you have music like tonight, this has just been outstanding. I mean, there's just no way I can't say this has been one of my most enjoyable experiences live streaming.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
It doesn't even feel like I'm on planet Earth right now. Like
I feel you, Sammie. I know it's like,
I'm pretty sure I'm floating, which is weird.
yeah.
We really do so much
Sammie, wait a minute.
appreciate you having us on the show.
Oh,
yes,
gosh.
we do.
Thank you very
And Simon, you know that we
You
love
know,
and appreciate
thank you so
like
much.
Oh, no,
tremendously.
very
This
sweet.
just
No,
doesn't
Sammy,
feel
come
real.
to the light. Come to the
I
light.
can't because I'm ginger, and I think that you know that. I'm vampire through and through.
Oh, yes.
Delighted.
Yes, delighted, sir, as well. Thank you very much to all of you, to all of the people that you love, because the holidays are coming up, whether you celebrate which ones or whatever. I want everybody out there to just have a joyous experience. Please, 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 anybody that's listening to this, and we will push this out there, share this out into the world so that people can see great people and hear amazing music. And again, we had like 4 more or less world premieres on here. And because I know people have heard your music a little bit, but those are all, very brand new from you to Cadence and Coda. So look for all of these folks. If you get lucky and you stumble into a little pub somewhere in Europe and, you run into Simon, he's going to be a great guy. And if you're out in Nebraska or Iowa, or wherever you guys are wandering
Which you
around
should not be.
in the Midwest,
It's so
just say
It's
hi.
horrible. Like
Just
our
say-
main exports are desperation and despair.
You know what? There's a lot of great music that comes from the Midwest. So how
Not
about
in
that?
Iowa.
No, there's been some great music
You got
scenes in
Chicago
the
house. You got
Yeah.
Detroit techno.
Oh,
You got
I'm
all
just
sorts
gonna
of stuff.
Iowa.
I'm
Dot,
just gonna
dot,
say it.
dot.
I'm just gonna
Like-
say it because this is how small Chicago is too. Because unlike New York and LA, you're usually only a couple of people disconnected from somebody. And I was fortunate to meet one of Buddy Guy's, the legendary blues musician. Now, I'll tell a quick story. Back in the 90s when I was at school and we would go over to Buddy Guy's, to study and, we might have drank a little or something. But I mean, as well, we were there one night and like this dude walked in and like somebody's like, that's Eric Clapton. And we're like, no, it is. So then there was no cell phones. Everybody was in line on the payphone going, Buddy Guy and Eric Clapton are here and we hear they're going to play. And so that was just a really neat experience. But anyway, just not that long ago, I was fortunate to meet one of Buddy Guy's great granddaughters, and what absolutely interesting people. And she was great. She's got great stories because all of the grandkids manage the club now. So, so which is really, really neat, and just a great family it seems like they have over there. So, I just enjoy musicians. I maybe could sing, a Garth Brooks song with a little beer in me, but I'm not any kind of musician. So I love.
Do you want me to sing my really ridiculous, funny country song real quick? It's really short.
All right, we will close out with that.
Okay. Johnny, do you know which one it is?
Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it. It's good to see you, baby. It's been a long, long while. We're both a whole lot older, seen a lot of miles, but things are really different now since the good old days. And you've been in some trouble since we went our separate ways. We'll have to say hello maybe some other time instead, 'cause you're wanted by the police. My wife thinks you're dead. This is Junior Brown.
Yes,
it's the only country I know.
I actually I don't know much country, but I do have a couple of friends, singer songwriters that lean country, and they've they're phenomenal. So we should do that too. And like I said, anytime you want to bring some friends, anytime you just want to jump in, and I can bring some friends and listen to some of their music. I know Simon has been able to hear at least one, if not a couple of my friends of mine that have amazing voices. So it's just nice to share that out with people to find new people. I am Revolution McInnes. This has been Talk with Revolution, and just a phenomenal night. Looking forward to sharing this out with the world, letting everybody hear this. Sammie, Johnny, and Simon, thank you all very much. I appreciate all of you. What an absolute joy this was. We will be back on next Wednesday, and ostensibly, we have an actor from Night at the Museum and Glee, and I've got it booked, but I haven't pushed it out there yet, so I'm not going to name any names. And then after that, I can say the next person that I actually have booked is not until December, but we have Ashley Robinson, co-producer for Fear the Walking Dead. We are going to have a blast talking Walking Dead and Fear of Walking Dead, because she's worked for both productions, and we're going to talk horror movies. And then the week after that, Ashley and I are going to have a fun horror movie night. So there's lots of cool stuff happening on Talk with Revolution. Please stick around and join us each week. We will also be back on Thursday, 1 week from tomorrow, with get your own title right here, So Far This Week in the Chai. And we're going to be talking Chicago politics, big city politics, but we're going to be celebrating musicians and everything else, very much like Talk with Revolution in some ways, in that we're meeting people, but we're going to get a little more political. And we're going to have, hopefully, some other co-hosts and stuff. We have Dr. Allie Neitzel, who is just an absolute warrior for disinformation. And if you Google Revolution McInnes in the Chicago Tribune, you can read that story. Scroll down for a free version from one of the other papers. But I am so proud of the work we are going to be doing there. So thank all of you again.
That's amazing.
You know what?
Yeah.
Kudos.
Thank you. And it's all social media, folks. It's all meeting people, the right way, in the right rooms, and doing the fun stuff. So hopefully they'll be playing that one Garth Brooks song that I can sing one night in the karaoke room, and I'll be able to join you. Otherwise, I'll get to listen. And thanks again, everybody. We will talk to you soon. I will talk to all of you very soon, I'm sure. My name is Revolution McInnes. Let's all give ourselves a nice, round of applause there for a fantastic evening. I am Revolution McInnes, and this has been Talk with Revolution.